And your name is?
I'm Shelly, and I'm a piano teacher, and I'd like to tell you a story about a student of mine. I had a set of boys. One was 9 and one was 11, and they took piano lessons from me. The 9-year-old was severely ADHD, had been diagnosed and was doing very terribly in school. The mother was very concerned. She didn't even think anybody would want to have her boy as a student because he was in trouble. Every day she got the phone call from the school about how terrible this young man's behavior was. And in fact, when he would come to my house for the lesson, he and his brother would have a knockdown, drag-out fist fight on the floor rolling around about who had to go first for their lesson. So I became friends with the mom, and I suggested that she take her son to Dr. Phil and get an adjustment. Now, let me give you an idea of what lessons were like with this boy. We had probably 45 lessons in a year's worth of time. He might have accomplished 1 minute worth of instruction per lesson. So in an entire year's worth of lessons, she only got 30 minutes worth of time for her money that she paid me because he simply couldn't sit still or wouldn't listen or had to be distracted, was so distracted. After one visit with Dr. Phil, he came back 3 days later to my house for a piano lesson, and that boy sat perfectly still on the bench for 29 out of 30 minutes. I got a whole year's worth of piano from that boy in that lesson, and it continued on.
Okay. And did the mother ever indicate to you how he did in school after that?
Oh yeah, he came in, and I used to ask him, I always ask my students, how was school today? And they had some kind of a rating system, and if you got a star, then you were a good kid. If you got 2 stars, you were a super good kid. And he came home with stars all the time. And in fact, his mom told me that he started doing his homework on the bus on the way home, and the homework was done by the time he got home from school, instead of having to fight with him for 4 or 5 hours a night to do his homework.
Yeah, so that was quite a change then.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.